I have some free time at the moment. I really want to make some more videos, so I'm gonna make another read with me vlog about this book. This book is the third book in a series. We've got some catching up to do. Oh my god, I don't even know where to begin. There's only so much I can give you, and you're just gonna go and have to read it yourself if you haven't read this series, because it's so complicated. The plot has many layers. But essentially, it's fantasy, and it is almost like cyberpunk-esque. It's about the Earth. An event happened and it's been broken into fragments, and they're called arcs, and they each have a family spirit who's like a god who has a certain power on each arc. Each family spirit's power is different. Our main character is from one arc, and the story starts with her getting arranged married to a character from a different arc, and she moves to that arc, and it like follows her life, all the corruption on that arc and how it's different, and yeah, very complex. The storyline with her like arranged husband is really interesting. That character is called Thorn, okay? He's so autistic coded, in my opinion, as an autistic man. You can't really gauge whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, or like what his motivations are or what he's really thinking. We kind of get like tiny little slivers of detail that hint to where he might be in his opinion of things. I just got really enthralled in trying to figure out this character and where he was standing and what he was thinking and feeling. Because we know that the main character, Ophelia, isn't in love with him and really detests this arranged marriage. She's got so many other things to think about, and he's just kind of a saw in her brain. And the way that their relationship is evolving is one of the hooks that has me very excited to read this book, because I genuinely have no idea. Where it left off is that the marriage was arranged so that their powers would combine, because part of the marriage ceremony is that you share your powers with your partner. His ability combined with hers would enable him to help the family spirit of his arc, and it was like this whole arrangement. But he called it off and got thrown in prison by the family spirit. Yeah, there was this whole discovery about a person even higher up than the family spirit, like God, if you will. This is so complicated. So they find out that he exists, and then like Thorn escapes, and then Ophelia gets sent off back home. We start off in this book, she's been back home for almost 3 years. I'm gonna stop explaining. We're just gonna get into the reading vlog. In this book, she has just arrived at Babel. It's a new arc, and she's just lost all of her things and cut all her hair off. I'm sort of like, because we're on a new arc, are we not going to be interacting with any of the original characters? Like, I'm wondering how much of this story is going to be new world building, because I'm really attached to all the characters. I'm going to miss them if they're not in it as much this time. Also, side note, I'm really getting the itch to do more things with my room. Like, it just doesn't yet feel, just like, I don't have the feeling I want with my room right now. Anyway. Lots of updates, actually. I'm not even that far in. I feel like for a while I was sort of not really adjusting to the newness. Like, I settled into the storyline of her being on the pole, and now that she's on a completely different arc and there's completely different characters, I miss the old story. But we're getting into it. It's now sort of a story about her being in a school and training her power, which is not the direction I thought the story was going to go in. She's trying to access this like archives to find out where, I'm not actually entirely sure. She just needs to get in there.
Well, I gotta get in there.
And I feel like the point of this book might be that it's just training her skills to be like better and bigger. So that in the last book, I'm assuming it's going to be really important that she can use them a lot better. But we had a chapter which was one of the characters, she's had a child. It was from the perspective of this child, and it was sort of suggesting that this child can't speak or can't move or can't, like, it sounds like she's paralyzed, but she can disconnect from her real body and like float around in like the spirit realm unseen by people. And the fact that that chapter was there showing us that she can do that means that it's going to be of important significance. But yeah, that's where we're at. There's been a mysterious death, and she thinks that it's to do with her presence on the Ark. I mean, like, on the cover, it compares the book to Harry Potter. They're not in houses, but they're split into, like, child of this family spirit and child of this family spirit. The other students aren't being friendly at all. She's sort of like the outcast. She's just not doing very well at the moment. It's not completely gripped me, though. Like, it's not a book that I'm looking forward to reading when I'm not reading it. We're going to take a break from our regular scheduled programming because I want to show you something. Welcome to my office. So it is my birthday really soon. It's in like 2 weeks. And my birthday, I've decided to have a party, which I never do. I decided to theme it DC Comics. I'm going as Vigilante from Peacemaker. So I've been working on the costume. I painted the detailing yesterday. We've got the chest piece, the shoulder pieces, the wrist pieces. This is looking really good. I'm really surprised. And then I've got like stuff back here that I need to paint. So I'm gonna be painting, and I'll probably show you the full finished costume once I've completely finished it. Oh yeah.
Taylor Swift's sexy butt.
What?
Your last search?
Oh no, that's just because I wanted to see some pictures of her sexy butt.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
I'm literally just about to go to sleep, so forgive my appearance. Ophelia's just left the school. She might be about to find Thorn, and I'm like, I literally stopped reading so I could tell you. Okay, it wasn't Thorn. I really should go to bed, but here I am recording an update. There's a big reveal. We found Thorn. I'm holding out hope that it gets better from here because, guys, I don't know if it's because I'm autistic and I don't like change, but this book is just, it's very different to the last two. I'm not vibing with it. Like, I want to get back to the old characters. I want to get back to the old arc. I'm just bored. I don't want to be mean. Like, it's just like, I feel like we did all this world building and I really got my teeth into it. And then all of a sudden, everything's different and everyone's gone. And Ophelia's just at the school now, and everyone's bullying her. I mean, really, I'm moody. I need to go to bed. But the main update is we found Thorn, and I also don't really like how that was done, though. It felt a bit like this elusive character we've made mention of, like, pretty much the entire time she's been on this arc. Turns out to be him, but the reason that we wouldn't suspect that is because he's described to be a robot. It's just a low effort way to deter you from the scent, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, to me, it just felt a bit like, I don't know. Maybe you know what I'm getting at, maybe you don't. Maybe it'll be explained. I actually have no idea. I'm excited to read more. Guys, I'm so happy Thorn's back. Oh my god, the book is immediately 10 times better. I've read like 4 or 5 chapters this morning. The tension and, like, dare I say, yearning between them. Like, Thorn is acting like he just cares about the work he's doing, like, because he's in this position of great importance to the institution. He's just sort of acting like that's the only important thing. After their reunion, she sort of was wondering if he even recognised who she was. They have their meetings because she has to do work for him and then report back. And that's the only time they can see each other. And he just sort of only talks about that every time they meet. And Ophelia's always hoping that he's going to say something else, give any kind of indication that he actually cares about her. And he never does, but he keeps saying right before she leaves, he's like, "You sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?" And I'm like, brother needs to hear some validation. Brother needs some words of affirmation just as much as she does. but neither of them willing to be the first one to do that. Like, they both just sort of are wondering, I'm assuming, that are they still where they were, where they left off? Because where they left off in the last book, he like ended up telling her that he loves her, and she realized that she actually feels the same, but then they like have been apart for 3 years. Anyway, I didn't realise how much I missed him. Now that he's back in it, I'm obsessed again, which is weird because I don't usually care about romance in stories. The last chapter I read, and she leaves, and then like something flashes deep in his eyes, and I'm like, he wants you. And I'm just wondering what, like, if ever, their sort of romantic connection is gonna look like. Like, I don't know if this author would really do anything like vulgar. I don't know, but low-key rooting for it. So anyway, so yeah, I finished this chapter and I was like, and I searched on Pinterest for fan art. Guys, there's fan art. Oh my god, like, can you tell how excited I am seeing the way that people imagine these characters? Like, I kind of want to try and draw them myself as well, because I dabble. Honestly, to only have half of one of your books out of 4 to be less good is pretty damn impressive. I was seeing like comments online about these books, and a lot of people think they're really boring, which I was really surprised at. But I think it having to insinuate things and read between the lines and get deep into the subtext, I guess, rather a lot of effort for reading, but I love that kind of thing. So much of it is up to reader interpretation until you get to a moment where it's clarified. It's just like the not knowing how Thorn feels, but knowing how Ophelia feels, knowing what she wants him to do, but then she's not asking him that either. So she's like meeting him where he is, which is just sort of like cold and unemotional. And I'm like, oh my god, you just need to cuddle. Like, stop standing there feeling sad for each other. Like, oh my god, it's just that, like, the dynamic of like the moody guy who shows no emotion and the girl who's like very in touch with her emotions. I don't know, the roles used to be switched as well. Like, he used to be the one that liked her and she was like really not bothered. Okay, I'm gonna read you a passage. She was about to leave his office and he was like, are you certain you have nothing else to say to me? So it says that she spent the night after that like tossing and turning, trying to figure out what he meant by that. Surely she can figure that out. I like it because she's a character that's very smart, but she's also very socially awkward, and she's just not very good socially. The author makes a thing of making it clear that she struggles to know what to say. I relate to both of these characters because I feel like a lot of their traits are very autism coded. Like, in moments when what you say is quite vital, your brain just goes completely blank and you don't know what to say or like how to put into words what you're feeling. And like Thorn just struggling to convey any kinds of emotion in his voice or his facial expressions. I feel like it's just very autism coded, but anyway, that's just me. So she can't read social situations very well, so yeah, so he's doing that and she's just like, what does it mean? It starts by her saying that she can't sleep. She no longer understood Thorn at all. What was that question he'd asked her supposed to mean? Did he think she was hiding information from him? She had run away from home to look for him. She had changed her identity on an arc where lying was a crime. She had chosen to put up with Mediana's blackmail rather than betray him. She had remained at the Good family because he had asked her to, and never at any time had she complained. It's just so interesting because they both convey their affection through their actions. I was starting to pick up that he started to care about her because of the things he was doing for her. Even if when they spoke, he was very flat and blunt and non-expressive. It's just the perfect amount of slow burn and like angst and everything like that. Okay. It's just this story in particular just needs to be focused on their relationship because of how the last one ended. But the 2 books before this, the plot by itself was interesting enough. Like, I'm not trying to say that he's what I'm basing all of my opinions and experience from this book off of. Like, it's not just about this man and this relationship. But this book, it is. I'm really tired and the weather's nice, so I'm gonna sit outside and read more. Ophelia was just finding out loads of stuff that he asked her to find out. And then she's been bullied, so she was like locked away and like blah blah blah. Stuff happened, which meant that she missed her appointment with him. He immediately replaced her. She's ran after him to explain what she found. He wouldn't hear her. So she reached out to grab him, and he used his claws against her. One of the family powers, which enables you to hurt people without having to do anything. Like, it's like an invisible claw, basically. It just, like, lashes out and hurts you. Bitch, she... This is an outrage. I cannot believe he did that. We got another interim chapter about Victoria. Farouk has finally been in it, and he's another one of my favourite characters. I'm actually really rooting for his relationship with his daughter, because the entire time you've got the narration that she thinks he doesn't like her, but he seems to be the only one who actually understands her, which is really sweet. We're probably just going to read until my next therapy session, which is in an hour or so, because I'm finally hooked. Guys... We're lying on the floor because I had a bad day at work, but I had a good reading day. You guys, I was reading my book on the bus on the way in this morning. Something huge happened, and I had to sit on the bus and like... You guys, they finally kissed. Like, you don't understand. It's been 3 books. Like, there's Slow Burn, and then there's 3 entire books until they kiss. And we found out that Thorn has lost control of his claws. So when he lashed his claws at Ophelia, he didn't actually know he'd done that. He got startled by Ophelia, and he was immediately like, oh my god, don't ever do that. Don't ever catch me by surprise. Like, always let me know. And she was like, oh. His claws to Thorn is like a really important part of who he is. And so it's devastating to him that he doesn't have control over that anymore. Especially because it makes him really worried about Ophelia being around him, which I think is partly why he was keeping his distance from her. In this moment, after they kissed, was like lining up and making it like all soft, because it was like, oh, another reason why he just seemed so focused and determined on this work instead of on her was because actually she realized it wasn't determination that was fueling his work, it was rage. He is angry that someone threatened his wife, and he's spent the last 3 years trying to find something to help her and keep her safe. Like, this entire operation is fueled by his love for her and to keep her safe. We didn't get any big declarations, like, he really doesn't say a lot, but it's Ophelia, like, realizing things and insinuating things. The reason why I'm so invested in this romance is because it's not written in a sappy, cheesy way. It's very detached from all of that, and a lot of it, that's what I'm getting from it, because it's all insinuated. Like, it's the idea of it rather than spoon feeding me all of this yearning. And I feel like part of the reason for my bad mood today was because my reading was just getting interrupted by my work, and I just wanted to read, and I'm so close to finishing it. I'm like this close. So she's done her exams and everything, and she failed, so she's not at the institution anymore. And then yeah, her and Thorn had their moment. Yeah, I just thought I'd film an update of that huge revelation that happened in the plot before I carried on reading. Also, it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm carrying on reading before bed, but I wanted to say that I'm getting the feeling that Thorn's gonna die. Just because of the things that he's saying, like, you know, when there's like a really touching moment between 2 people, and then it's like, and then you look back on that moment and you're like, I could be wrong. Alright, we finished the book, so, book review. Thorn did not die.
Who did not die?
He was fine. I was wrong. I mean, he might still. I am wondering, though, if Fox is dead. The, like, ginger guy. There was, like, a hint that he has been Miller-faced. God is now impersonating him with a different character, that when God is doing that, he's killed, or at least subdued, the, like, actual person that he's impersonating. Does that mean Fox is dead if he's being impersonated by God? I hope not. I like Fox. But Victoria, the child who can like float around in the spiritual realm, is now trapped in the spiritual realm. She's been detached from her body, is part of the bigger plot that the book has, which I haven't really talked about in this video. So it seems like her role that she's playing, even though we only get, I think I've had about 4 chapters with her, is pretty significant. I mean, this book is written brilliantly. The language is amazing. It's really good for readers who don't like to be spoon-fed information like me. There's a lot of things that the reader has to pick up from for themselves and subtext, and the romance is just written in such a different way than I've seen before. Like it really does a good job of avoiding being corny or overly pushing it in your face. Like it's done with grace. Yeah, and it's like I talk about it mainly just that in this video, but that part of the story is a very small percentage of what's actually going on. Don't get the impression that this series is a romance series. It isn't. It's very much just about the fantasy element of it. But it just happens that that thread is the thread that my brain has latched onto. I also think that this author does characterization extremely well. When you're a writer, there's so much emphasis on how all your characters need to sound like different voices and be different people, and she does that to the T. Her individual characterization is extremely strong. The vivid pictures and descriptions of each character and what they look like is very clear, and reminds me of Little Nightmares a little bit because of the proportions and everything of all the different characters just seem very abnormal, I guess. So it just reminds me of some of the characters in Little Nightmares, if you know what that is. I think just overall this series is an incredible read, and I think I'd recommend it to anyone, especially if you like fantasy. So I'd probably rate it 4 out of 5 just because I wasn't immediately hooked in the first part of the book, but it's just extremely complex. There's no way I've even covered half of what this book is about, and so you just need to read it for yourself. I feel like after the ending of this book, I was expecting a lot more of Thorn and Ophelia being together now and teaming up and working together. They have the same objective, but I've started reading the next one and that hasn't happened yet. And I feel like I have a lot of hopes for this next book. Like, I want Farouk to be in it a lot more. I feel like he might be an integral part in finding Victoria again, because nobody can see her when she's in the spirit realm. So I'm sort of wondering how that's going to get resolved. I don't know what to expect or how this is going to end. And I'm interested to know how it all wraps up in the length of the last book, because it's not that long, but I feel like there's so much to cover. But I won't be filming a read with me for that one. I might film a book review or something. I'm going to say that's the end of this video. Again, if you enjoyed this video and if you're still here at this point in the video, I feel like it's a sign that you should subscribe. But if not, you know, thanks for watching this one video anyway. Disclaimer, I don't post that regularly anymore, but I still post. I just make videos if I have the inspiration and if I have the time. But yeah, thanks for watching.